Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Alpha, and my telling is about the atomic bomb on Japan through Harry Truman perspective. So, a little bit about Harry Truman. Harry Truman was born in Lamar, Missouri on May 8th, 1884. He is the son of John Anderson Truman and Martha Truman. From 1905 to 1911, Truman served in the Missouri National Guard when the United States entered World War I in 1917. He helped organize the 2nd Regiment of Missouri Field Artillery, which was quickly called into the federal service as the 129th Field Artillery and sent to France. Um, Truman was promoted to a captain and given command of the regiment Battery D. He and his unit saw action in Vosges, Saint Mihiel, and Musso Argonne campaign. Truman joined the reserve after the war, rising eventually to the rank of colonel. Um, in July 1944, Truman was nominated to run for vice president with President Franklin D. Roosevelt. On January 20th, 1945, he took the presidential oath, and after President Roosevelt's unexpected death, only 82 days later, April 12, 1945, he was sworn in the National as the 33rd president. Uh, Truman later called his first year of presidency a year of decisions. He oversaw during his first 2 months in the office the ending of the war in Europe. Um, After a little bit, Truman approved dropping of 2 atomic bombs on Japan, August 6th and 9th, 1945. Here's a picture of the atomic bomb that dropped on Hiroshima, which called Little Boy. Um, a little about Hiroshima bomb. The bomb exploded about 1,500 feet above the city with a force of 15,000 tons of TNT. The bomb destroyed 5 square miles of the city and caused about 140,000 deaths by the end of 1945. Here's a picture of what the city looked like when the bomb dropped. Complete destruction, as you guys can see. Here's what would happen if an atomic bomb dropped, let's say, in Phoenix. So as you guys can see, the little small circle, the yellow circle, that indicates the fireball radius of that blast. Um, Pretty much everything within that circle would be burned to ashes. It will be destroyed to the ground. Um, and then if you look a little bit, if we go a little bit out, the red circle indicates the heavy blast damage radius at a 20 psi. The concrete building will severely damage and demolished. Fatality at that circle will be at 100%. If we look at the green circle, that indicates the radiation radius. It's likely fatal. In about 1 month, 15% of the survivors will eventually die of cancer as a result of exposure. The bigger small gray circle that indicates a moderate blast damage radius at a 5 psi. Most building will collapse, injury will be universal, fatalities will be widespread. And if we zoom a little bit further out, the big yellow circle will indicate thermal radiation radius. So at this area will be a 3rd-degree burns throughout the layers of the skin. They're often painless because they destroy the pain nerves, so people won't really feel pain. Um, if we zoom out a little bit out, it will be the big gray circle, and that will be the light blast damage radius, and it will be at 1 psi. At this circle, glass windows will be broken, many injuries to the surrounding population, just because people will see that explosion and they will come next to the window to look at it, and that's when the glass will shatter and then will give like minor or a little bit injuries to the people. Right. And here is a picture of a girl who saw the nuclear bomb and survived it. Her eyes, that's what the eye will look like if you actually witness a atomic bomb. It says the atomic bomb brightness will be, it's like 1,000 sun. That's how bright it is. So when you see those kind of eyes, it's pretty much they survived an atomic bomb. Shortly after, a second bomb was dropped on Japan, and this time it's called Fat Man, also known as Mark III. And it dropped on Nagasaki by the United States on August 9th, 1945. And it's pretty much did the same, kind of the same damage as the previous bomb. And that's like a simulator of what would happen if it actually dropped on Phoenix again. On August 14, 1945, Truman and the world learned that Japan has surrendered and effectively ended World War II, a war that America thought would go on indefinitely. And so as the President of the United States, I proclaim Sunday, September the 2nd, 1945, to be VJ Day, the day that formal surrender of Japan. But it's a day which Americans shall always remember as the day of retribution. And that's what Harry Truman said after Japan surrendered. Harry said, who was trusted in the presidency, and just 4 months earlier by the death, just 4 months after the death of Franklin, wrote this to respond in the dropping of the atomic bomb on Japan. He said, "My object is to save as many American lives as possible, but I also have human feelings for the women and children of Japan." And here I'm going to leave you with a quote from a Hiroshima bomb survivor, Mr. Yasujiro Tanaka. He said, you are only given one life, so cherish this moment, cherish this day, be kind to others, be kind to yourself. Thank you.